Yesterday, I was going through my daily routine. I got up, ate breakfast, and became cold. I always become cold when I eat. I have dysautonomia, and anytime I eat, my body temperature drops. I grabbed a fleece sweatshirt and laid down. I learned a while ago the best way to keep my PICC line extension from getting tangled when not in use is to wrap the extension around my arm. I then tuck in the end cap. The PICC line extension stays secure. However, some days it does manage to unwind itself and hang loose. As I was moving my PICC line arm, I noticed my PICC line extension had unwound itself and was making its way out of my sweatshirt arm sleeve. I usually take off my sweatshirt to rewrap my PICC line extension around my arm, but for the moment, I decided to just push it up my sleeve and not worry about it. A few hours later, my PICC line extension again made its way out of my sweatshirt sleeve. I reached up my sleeve, and to my surprise, my PICC line extension was disconnected from my PICC line. I praised God for this blessing. I had wanted to change out the extension set with a new one as this set was near the end of its life. Now, half the work of replacing the extension was done. I only had to put on a new line extension on my PICC line. With the PICC line extension disconnected, the lumen on my PICC line, which had the extension set on it, no longer had an alcohol cap on it. I thought about taking off my sweatshirt to place an alcohol cap on it, but I assured myself the lumen would be fine. I would place an alcohol cap on it when my mom placed an extension set on my other lumen. Since it was near supper time, I decided to wait to have my mom put on the extension set. I went about my life. I kept my sweatshirt on and never looked at my PICC line. As it was nearing the time I needed to infuse my TPN, I asked my mom if she could place an extension set on my PICC line. She agreed. As I was preparing to have an extension line put on, I took off my sweatshirt. I looked at the lumen, which used to have the extension set on it. To my horror, the blue end cap, which connected to the extension set, was broken. That is the reason the extension set disconnected. The blue connector had failed. I was in disbelief. Anything in the air had direct access to my bloodstream. In a panic, I gathered up all my needed supplies and went to the kitchen. I explained to my mom what happened. We took off the old blue cap and placed a new blue cap on. I usually flush the line with saline and heparin, but I was nervous there may be bacteria in the line. I tried using an empty syringe to withdraw any blood which may be contaminated in the PICC line. Unfortunately, the end of my PICC line seemed to have a fibrin sheath on it which prevented blood return. I reluctantly gave up getting any blood. I had my mom place an alcohol cap on the end of the line. I left the lumen alone and hoped no bacteria had gotten into my PICC line. On my other lumen, my mom connected a line extension. We tried to get blood return, but again, the line was blocked. We gave up and just flushed the line with saline and heparin. We placed an alcohol cap on the end of the line, and I went to bed. I hooked up my TPN and prayed everything was okay with my PICC line. This is not the first time a connector has failed on my PICC line. It failed once in the hospital. The nurses had a difficult time getting the line to flush. The syringes would not connect properly to my PICC line. No one ever looked at the connector to see it was broken. Thankfully, every time the line was not in use, the lumen was covered with an alcohol cap. Now the waiting game begins. I hope and pray no bacteria got into my PICC line. I wish I would have seen the broken connector sooner in the day, but since I did not see it, I am glad I kept my sweatshirt on. The sweatshirt provided a barrier and kept the PICC line away from the microorganisms in the air. I am hoping and praying nothing harmful entered my PICC line. Thank you so much for joining me. Please remember to like and subscribe down below. I hope you have a great day and a wonderful week. Bye-bye.